Yeah, hi.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Pattern Team Live. Please bear with us. We're kind of new here to this. I'm Robin. I manage the pattern team. This
Sorry.
is.
I'm Chelsea. I'm the technical illustrator here.
And here we have.
Hi, I'm Wallace. I am one of the pattern developers here at Seamwork.
Excellent. Welcome to Pattern Team Live, or as that's what we're calling it in-house. It's Ask the Pattern Team. Today we are Chelsea is actually going to give us some tips on printing tiled PDF patterns and cutting them and taping them together.
Yeah, I got a few helpful tips, so let me show you. So,
Should we start with
oh yeah,
printing it?
let's start with
All
that.
right, let me rotate the camera. Here we go.
Okay, so if you have Adobe Acrobat, there's a really cool function you can use. So when you open the PDF of the tile, and go over here to the options, there's a layer option here. Click and expand that, and we have each of the sizes listed. So let's say you're a size large, you can go ahead and click the eyeball to get rid of those sizes. And then that way, when you print, you have less cutting you have to do.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, can help save on paper too. And then for other tips, you'll want to make sure that you're not printing on both sides of the paper, because that won't help you at all.
Let's pull up the print settings.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so just make sure from whatever you're printing from, you make sure that it's not reversed and just on the one single side of the page.
Oh, go back and, sorry, we're gonna pull this up again. Also make sure that you are printing actual size. Where did that little setting go?
There it is.
Here we go. You see, go ahead and click on that, Chelsea.
Oh, on the size?
Right here.
Boop. Oh, yeah, actual size.
Very important. This key right here is 4 by 4 inches, and you wanna measure that when it prints out. But when you click that actual size, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah. Also, make sure to double check that you're taping everything correct. You can check the little illustration in the instructions to make sure your layout matches. And then, you don't have to always print the whole thing. You can see what pages and pattern pieces you need, which can help save on paper too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one that's already printed out here.
Yeah. A helpful tip, if you happen to have a paper cutter, that'll help save some time for when you're cutting around the edges of the tiles. And then another helpful tip is just tape where the pattern pieces meet. Let's see. So this...
Let's cut them.
Okay, let's do a cut. Yeah, just like that. Saves a lot of time when you have a paper cutter. So if you print a lot of tile patterns, it could be worth the investment of getting a little paper cutter.
Why don't we cut them all and then we'll tape them together? Right now, we are cutting, I'm gonna pop you over to Chelsea's computer. We printed out the Seamwork Dana. And it's a bra and panties. And we figured this was a really good time for this one because it's about to start Bra August or Bragust. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. The hashtag on Instagram. It's a really fun one to follow if you don't already. We tend to cut multiple pages at once. We found that about 8, 9, or 10 pages is the optimum amount to cut at once, depending on your paper cutter. I wouldn't cut more than 10 at once. Sometimes it'll mangle the cut lines. You want to be as precise as possible when putting these together.
There we go.
Awesome.
We are all cut.
All cut. Now we're going to set them up on a table and show you some tips for taping them together. Welcome to our sewing room. That's Kathleen. Here we have our machines. We're gonna pop these together right here on this table. Make sure you've got your Scotch tape and a nice large work surface. A lot of us use the floor if we're putting tiled patterns together.
Oh, yeah.
So now once you have those edges cut off, everything should line up nicely. You'll see these little notches line up together. And also every piece is numbered so you know what order it goes into. This is a very small pattern, only 8 pages, which is fun because we have some that are over 100.
Oh, yes. I think our Winona pattern is definitely one. That's one of our largest ones. I think that one's over 100 when you do the full version.
Yep.
You don't have too much, or you're just trying to be sustainable.
All right.
But another tip for when you're assembling is taping where the pattern is in itself and not worrying about like this extra area over here. Saves a little bit more time that way. And saving on tape is always good too.
Saving on tape is always
Yeah,
good.
it's easy to run out of tape if you're taping every little bit.
Now, if you've been watching with us for the last few minutes, you're probably wondering why she clicked large, yet all the sizes are here. And that would be because I pre-printed the pattern and did not think that far ahead.
But just be aware that that option does exist, so you should definitely utilize it to help save on some paper and some cutting.
Yes, and for the Dana pattern, you'll most likely have one size, maybe 2 sizes, depending on your bust versus your waist and hip. But most patterns, if you are blending between sizes, you'll want to print out more than just one size. So sometimes it's really good to have the full nested pattern, but sometimes you may only print out the medium and large or the extra small and then blend between those sizes depending on what your needs are. Yep.
Put a little more just right on it. And there we go. All of the pattern pieces have been whooped, except for this little spot.
And you'll see we didn't, because the pattern pieces aren't crossing over these two, we didn't bother taping those. You don't need to because the pattern piece stops right here.
Yeah, no need to waste the time or the tape on that.
But keep in mind, this is a very small pattern, so that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so once it's all taped together, this would be the time to blend between sizes if you want. We don't have a pencil handy, but if you were doing it, oh, I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah, so let's say you're doing a size small, but you want a extra small in the waist. You can take a ruler or a French curve if you have one and just go ahead and blend like so.
Perfect.
Nice and easy.
Perfect. Oh, look, we got a comment from Chelsea Makes. Chelsea likes to print all the sizes, tape them together, and use translucent paper, like medical paper. It disappeared while I was reading it. Here we go, let's try this again. Like medical paper to trace off her size. And then you always have that taped PDF together. Chelsea rolls them up and stores them in a corner. That's a great tip.
That is a good idea, Chelsea. Nice name too.
Nice. Chelsea, if you weren't with us the whole time, this is Chelsea.
Yeah, using tracing paper is honestly a game changer when it comes to sewing and anything pattern related. So always have a roll on hand. That's something I've always learned.
That's a great
Have a
tip.
roll on hand.
That's a great tip. We also just got a chat from Susie Baker, who just caught our live stream, and she's wondering where and how do you pick the specific size to print? Well, for that one, you'd go to our website and you would go, here, I'm going to walk you over back to the computer and show you that, Susie. Here's the web page for our Dana pattern. And let's see, right here is the measurement chart. The imperial measurement chart is the one that's in inches. So Susie, you would go in here and you'd see where your bust, waist, and hip fall, and check on the finished measurements, and choose your size based on that. So Susie, if you had a 40-inch bust, you would come here and make the large. Or maybe you'd actually, for this one, Dana, because this is a bra and panties, you'd probably want to choose, you might be choosing two different sizes. If your bust falls here, but your hip falls in the medium, then you definitely would want to print off both of those sizes so that you can cut one size on the panty and one size on the bra. And there we go.
Yeah.
I just saw another comment pop through. Oops. Let's see. Hi, Francine. You're just making it in too. Any questions, Francine? Let's see. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, let us know. We're going to be on for a few more minutes. For everyone just joining us, why don't we go back through the print settings and take a look at those again?
Yeah. So again, if you have Adobe Acrobat, there's this great little function right here for the different layers. When you give that a click, you'll see all these different sizes, and then got our test square and all that good stuff. And there's little eyes next to it. If you click it, it will then take away that size. So then, that way you just print the size you want, or as size is. Like say you're extra small and a small, or blending between those sizes. You can click the little eye, not on that one though, to get rid of those sizes. So then that way when you print, you're just printing those sizes. And there's a good chance that maybe you'll save on a little paper too, because you might, since you don't need those sizes, they might not even be needed on that page.
Probably not for this pattern because it's
Yeah.
so small, but
Yeah.
for one of the larger patterns, definitely.
But yeah, if you have Adobe Acrobat, definitely check that out and utilize it. It'll save you a lot of time from cutting too, and it's a neat little function to have.
Cool, let's take a look at the print settings again and show the actual size button. This one is really important.
Yes. So you'll make sure that you're, first off, printing on one side of the page, not both, and you'll want to click actual size, so that way you're getting the right proportion of the pattern. And always give the test square a measure, just to make sure that it is indeed proportionate.
4 by 4 inches.
Yeah. When in doubt, always give that a measure, just in case.
Awesome. Second tip was buy a paper cutter. It'll make cutting your pages much easier.
Yeah, especially if you do a lot of tile patterns, it can be worth the investment to just go ahead and get yourself a little guy. You can cut them in stacks of, what, 4 or 5?
8 to
pages?
10,
8 to 10
generally.
pages. Save some time.
Wallace likes to cut 10 at a time. I like to cut 8 at a time.
You can cut however many you want. Well, maybe not too many. 'cause
Maybe
you
not
can
too many.
risk messing up the layout of it, but it definitely saves some time and helps your hands not feel too cramped when you're cutting every page.
Absolutely. So Susie just commented in again, and she's asking about the test square
Oh,
and where you measure it. Susie, you're going to want to measure that on the actual printed page. I don't think if you measured it on your screen that it would show you the correct size. So when you print that out, just put your ruler up there. This is a clear ruler. Not everybody has those. Here we go. Here's our measuring tape. And that's not a great.
Oh.
Would you grab the other measuring tape? We've got a few of those here.
Another tip is you could just print the first page and measure that before you print the rest, if you just want to make sure you have the right proportion. If you don't want to print a whole bunch and then measure your test square and have it be, not quite the right proportion.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt to just print that one first and then measure.
So Francine has commented in again hold on, sorry Francine, my comments disappear. This is our first YouTube live video, and so we are figuring it out as we go. After I print the PDF, I trace the size I need. I have used the 4-inch square. Sometimes it would be a little bit smaller. I'm wondering how much smaller. Francine, it should be pretty close. I'm noticing with this one that, and this is because of this little metal tab, which isn't quite on here right. I kind of wish they would stop putting those on there. That ours is just about, you'll see there a 1/16 of an inch smaller. That's okay. Because I'm suspecting that this little tab is not quite on there correctly. However, if you measured your test square and it was only 3.5 inches or even 3.25 inches, I would be a little bit nervous about that. And then I would go back and check your print settings, recheck your print settings, and make sure that that actual size button is clicked. Otherwise, everything will be just a little bit off. And as you guys know with patterns, you don't want that because that'll definitely affect your final measurements. We've got a few more comments in, and let me try and read these. Francine, most times I use the OmniGrid square. It's just a tad smaller. OmniGrid square. I'm not sure I know. Do you know the OmniGrid square, Chelsea?
I don't. I haven't heard about that before, but I'm very curious now.
Yes, right back in, Francine, and tell us about that. You found that it really doesn't affect anything, and that's great. Now we have Maria. My chat disappeared again. Here we go. Not all pattern companies offer the possibility of eliminating layers. That's why you should go with us. It's really very confusing to see your size line because in some areas sizes overlap. Oh, absolutely. Depending on the pattern. Let's see, like for instance, here. Yeah, and because this one is the alpha sizing, the extra small, small, medium, and large, not the numeric sizing, there are fewer lines, but sorry, it looks like our taping together is a little off. Or ordinarily, you wouldn't have this space in here.
Oh yeah, that's my cutting.
Ignore
that.
Yep, that was Chelsea. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sometimes the lines overlap and it's really hard. Sometimes I take my best guess and just cut along the middle of the line there. I wish I'd had one printed out that had some overlapping lines. Let's see, Susie, in the past I have taped pages together, but the only thing I don't like about printing patterns home is they end up bulky and hard to sort. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
It couldn't hurt to have some tracing paper on hand, and then you can always retrace that pattern piece after you cut it and made whatever alterations you want. And then that way it's easier to store. I do that with some of my tile patterns at home, and you're right, it gets really bulky with all the tape and everything.
All right, excellent. What else do we have going on here? Danielle, I like printing patterns at home because I can make things faster, but the pain of taping the pages together. Yep, we can't do anything about that.
Only we could.
You know, Danielle, there are a lot of companies out there like Blueprint and Pattern Z and Kinko's, if you want a brick and mortar, and there's usually
like pdfplotting.com.
Oh,
pdfplotting.com.
Yeah.
Different places that have large format printers where you can just take them the file or even email it to them and they'll print out the whole thing so that you don't have to tile and tape anything together. If the pattern is small like this one, sometimes I just print it out at home because I don't mind taping 8 pages together. But yeah, if it's one of our 100-page patterns, I would probably look for a place to go if you have them in your area or you can have it mailed to you. Okay, Chelsea, you could always move the measuring tape over a few. You're right, Chelsea. She says you could always move the measuring tape over a few inches.
Of course.
Smart. Here we go. Oh, Chelsea, I'm going to let you do that. Yes. So let's start at the 10 there. Almost. There we go to the.
Yeah.
So close. Slide it just a smidge. That's the accuracy. There we go. It looks like a tiny bit off. I don't know if that's our measure or
Yeah, maybe like
the print.
a little less than 1/16.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
slight, but
we're a little off there. So, but yeah, absolutely. You're right. You could always slide the tape over.
good tip.
Good tip, Chelsea. Francine, OmniGrid rulers where the lines are yellow in color. Oh, you know what? I think you're thinking of this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is blue, but yeah, I do have one at home that is yellow. I have to keep clicking on my live chat here to Danielle. Francine, Danielle would like to tell you that she doesn't like that part either. I get it. I absolutely get it. You guys, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, we'll be doing more little live videos like this. So, if you have any questions, and we'll be covering like lots of little topics and burning questions. So you can always pop into the community. We have an Ask the Pattern Team thread, so you can pop in and ask any question you have, and we're going to do these little videos and try and address some fun questions and whatnot. So
Yeah, let's pull that up real quick. If you're a Seamwork subscriber, we have our own community where we talk about all things sewing. Chelsea's going to pull it up here.
yeah, here we are. I'll click to all of our topics here.
And I attempted to link it in this live video, but I think I might have failed slightly because I set it up on my computer
Yeah.
and not my phone, which is where I'm doing this.
Thanks, Chris. We're happy to be doing this. It's fun to interact with you guys.
Yeah, so we have a little topic in here called Ask the Pattern Team, and we've put a couple ideas for topics like fabric and garment fit, but you feel free to ask us anything. There's a topic called Ask Anything.
Yeah. So just pop in there. You can ask whatever you like. And
Yeah, we're in there every day answering questions, and we try to get to everything. But if we don't, there is such a wonderful community of people in there who are helping us out and answering as well. Susie has one more question here. When picking a size for a top, should it be based on your bust size, or do you take the waist and hip into consideration? Well, Susie, that depends on the top. If it's, let's pull up our patterns and see if we can give an example here.
there we are.
All right, let's take the Clark, the Seamwork Clark, our July pattern here.
Yeah.
On this one, Susie, I would definitely go with your bust measurement because that is the most fitted area of the garment. The waist and hip is pretty loose in this one, so you definitely would want to start with your bust. Let's go back and see if we can find one. There are ones that you would definitely go with a waist, for instance, the Seamwork Rory. Now this is a knit pattern, so it's a bit more forgiving. But on this one, you would take your bust in consideration, but you see how this band goes along the waist. So you definitely want to consider your waist measurement as well because it's looser in the bust than it is in the waist. So you probably want to take the most fitted part and put the most priority on that one.
Yeah.
If you have a specific pattern that you're looking at, Susie, you can always write into our community, and we can look at that one in particular and give our best advice on that too. And I'm glad that you're really enjoying the live stream.
Yay.
When Chelsea is across the table, oh,
Thanks for
your
that.
voice is lost without the microphone.
That's good to know. Thank you. Like we said, this is our first time doing this, so we're still figuring out the little bits, but noted.
We'll
Thank you.
definitely, yes, we'll speak up and see what we can figure out for that.
Yes.
Oh, the Addison. Can you pull up the Addison?
Of
Susie
course.
looking at the Addison.
Let's see.
Hi, Anne. Where are you joining us from if you're putting your kids to bed? I'm thinking somewhere in Europe.
Oh, here we are, Addison.
Francine loves the York. Awesome. Okay, yes, for the Addison, Susie, I would definitely go with your bust measurement and start based on that. You might want to look at the chart and look at your measurements as a whole. Definitely on this one, you want to come down and look at these finished garment measurements. So if you, for instance, if your bust is a 36, you want to look at these finished waist and sweep measurements compared to your actual waist and sweep measurements and check out how much ease would be in that. We actually have a video here on YouTube called All About Ease. So check that one out and it'll give some great tips and tricks on how to use these charts to find out how much ease is in the garment, and then you go with your personal preference. But definitely start with your bust measurement to find the base pattern on that, or the base size that you want to use. Okay, oh, Belgium. You're in Belgium. Hi, Anne. I hope your kids go down easier than mine. And let's see, hi, Jane. Well, thanks for joining us. Does anyone have any suggestions on how to store the patterns? You fold mine, but boy, yeah, you fold yours, and that is bulky. Yeah, a lot of people roll them up. Some people, I'm gonna swing you over here to our hanging rack. Now, we understand most home sewists don't have a beautiful hanging rack like this in their house, but you can buy, here we go. These are called pattern hooks, and we could probably find maybe put a post in the community and show some links for where to get those. We punch a hole in ours and put the pattern hook on there, and then you can hang everything. You could put it in a closet or hang it on a nail in the wall. Definitely check out our August issue, or I'm sorry, our September issue. We are going to have an article on small sewing spaces and how to store things, and all of our wonderful subscribers have written in and given us great tips and tricks on how to store some things. A few people have spoken about storing on rolls, storing things in rolls. We just have these in a basket here. I've definitely seen some of our subscribers write in and they put like this, like hooks on the wall. This is our thread, and put them in between the hooks. This isn't gonna fit because we have thread there, but
But you get the idea.
you get the idea.
To store them.
Yeah.
I like to have multiple binders, so I have a binder for like knit tops, woven tops, knit dresses, if you have the room for this kind of thing. And then I keep my pattern pieces in there with the instructions. So if I know I have like, oh, I have some cool knit fabric I want to use, I'll pull out like my knit shirt book or something like that. So if you have room on like your bookcase or something, I think that method's really fun to keep it. And then that way you always have like an idea of, oh, I want to make a woven dress. Here's my woven dress binder.
Yes,
That's me.
I really love that tip. I have mine right now in manila envelopes, like mailing envelopes, but I'm gonna switch over to the binder method.
Yeah, you just get some clear paper protectors, I guess is what they are. And you can get a whole big thing of them, and I think that's been a fun method
Yep.
personally.
Danielle is letting us know she actually uses those. It is still bulky. Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
it is. Maybe, and then you end up with 20 binders.
That's very true.
I don't know. You know, we are definitely always looking for the best method to store things. PDF patterns are great. And if you have access to a large format printer, like super awesome, but you end up with so many patterns, and then putting them places is,
Can be a struggle.
it's a struggle. The bane of our sewing existence. Where do we put everything?
All the tools, all the patterns.
All the tools and all the patterns.
Comes with all the things.
Chelsea traces them off into thinner tracing paper and then rolls them up and puts them on a dowel. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. It disappeared while I was finishing reading it. Wrap a rubber band around it, store it in the corner. Yep. That's a great idea. Or under the bed. Rolls would fit under the bed real easy.
yeah.
This is our studio, guys. Sorry. I'm on my phone here and I'm just moving us around.
Yeah.
You guys, this has been really awesome. We have so enjoyed chatting with you. We are going to be signing off in a couple minutes here, but I'm gonna leave it open for just another minute in case anybody has any more questions, and I'm gonna bring you back over here to Wallace, who's disappeared. You should join us this Friday at 11:30. Wallace is gonna be talking about lining versus inner lining. Yes, there are so many beautiful fabrics out there, but some are sheer. So what do? Do you do a lining? Do you do an inner lining?
You're going to find out on Friday.
You're going to find out on Friday. You're going to hear a lot from Wallace, who is wearing her Bobby dress,
Lined.
which is, yes, that's right. The top is lined on her Bobby dress. Maybe she'll be showing that again. Hi, Michelle from France. Awesome. A3 files. Do we do no, you know what? We don't need to do A3 files because the lines on the paper, the whole, you know what? Print out. I'm going to show you, Michelle. We're going to print out one. You don't have to print all the pages. You can just print out one of the pages. Because we don't bleed to the end of the paper, and we have the lines, it is kind of a pain to have to cut all the papers. You can kind of see here because we weren't super precise with our cut. But Chelsea's gonna bring over one of these fresh from the printer papers. Because we have these lines, as long as you're printing an actual size, it will fit on the A3. A3? I thought it was A4. And I guess there's different kinds. Hold on, Chelsea's gonna bring that over and I'm gonna show you. And it should work for printers all around the world.
Here we are.
You see, it prints out like this. We put everything between these lines so that it will fit on all the papers. If you find that it doesn't though, write in and we'll see it's good to know if something's not fitting, and we'll see what we can do to make that work. We had just a couple more questions pop in. Friday at, yes, Anne, hi, Friday at 11:30, sorry, 11:30 Pacific time. We are in Portland, Oregon. So that's the Pacific time zone of the United States, the Western United States. And it'll be 11:30 Pacific time. Hold on, my chat keeps disappearing, ladies.
Sweep measurement.
Oh, Francine, yes, interested in sheer fabrics. Check out, what day is August 1st? Thursday. Check out our August 1st issue, because Wallace actually made one of the August patterns in a pretty sheer fabric, and she has tips and tricks on how to work with fun, delicate sheer fabrics. And Susie, you want to know about the sweep measurement? Well, Susie, it depends on the pattern, honestly. The sweep is the bottom.
Here, you want to show me?
Oh, yeah, here. So Chelsea's wearing our Lane dress, I think from last summer, and the sweep is the very bottom measurement here.
Yeah, how much the opening is.
How much the opening is. So depending on where it hits, it would, I don't know what, depend on how big you want that. It goes with the style, where on your body. Like if the sweep was, for instance, at her hip, then your hip measurement would be really important. Okay. Thanks, Jane. I'm so glad that you liked the live video. You guys have been really, really amazing and patient with us for doing our first video. Thanks, Kosai. Kosai says, you guys rock.
Aw, you rock. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed doing this. And so tune in on Friday, 11:30 Pacific time, to see Wallace talking about lining versus inner lining. And then next week on August 9th, no, not August 9th. Because that's the, yeah, we might end up skipping a Friday, I think, because we have an event. Hi, Leslie from Vancouver. Hi, Taylor Pruitt. We'll post up the schedule. In a couple weeks, we're going to be doing one on sleeves on a sleeveless garment. Hi, Chris. Thanks from Dayton, Ohio. Thanks for joining us from Dayton, Ohio. I wonder if it's really hot in Dayton, Ohio right now. It's pretty hot here. So who's, oh, sorry. Susie's asking who is hosting. My name is Robin. I'm going to flip the camera. Hi, nice to meet you. I lead the pattern development team here at Seamwork and Colette. And I'll be doing a few too. I'll be talking about, in a couple weeks, I'll be talking about adding sleeves to something sleeveless and why it's not the first thing we do. Or if you want to remove sleeves from something with sleeves. So we'll have some tips and tricks on that kind of stuff. So again, guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's been such a fun time to do this. I hope you guys pop in for our next one. If you have any questions, remember, go to the community and pop some questions in, and we'll help you out.
Yeah, awesome. So we hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Sorry, I'm on a phone here, so I'm trying.
Yeah, I'll squeeze in.
Trying to make this work. All right. Have a great Monday, everybody. Hi, Francine.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
asking
joining us.
questions.
Yeah, thanks for commenting. This has been so much fun. I think we're really going to like this.
Yeah.
Anytime, Susie. We're so glad you joined us. Thanks for everybody for being here.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.